Hello, and welcome to the Pharmacy Times News Network. I'm Kate Douglas, and your host for our Pharmacy Week in Review. Patients in Missouri will no longer have to repeat ineffective medications, since Governor Jay Nixon recently signed the Step Therapy for Prescription Drugs law that prohibits insurers from requiring patients to take medications they've already tried when they switch their insurance coverage or change jobs. Step therapy doesn't take a patient's medical history into account, but instead draws from the insurer's formulary or protocol. Importantly, the law doesn't ban the practice of step therapy altogether, and it also doesn't preclude insurers from having patients try a generic version of a medication. Rather, it prohibits insurers from going through step therapy more than once for a given medication. The law takes effect on August 2nd. In product news, the FDA has approved a dedicated syringe for Humulin RU 500 insulin, eliminating the need for dose conversions for patients who previously used U100 syringes. The syringe is now the sole device approved for use with the U500 insulin vial since it hit the market in 1994. Previously, healthcare professionals needed to make dose conversions using a U100 insulin syringe. The approved syringe will only be available with a prescription and can be used as an alternative by patients who typically use a pre-filled pen. The FDA is urging patients to only use the new dedicated syringe with the U500 insulin vial to reduce the risk of dosing errors. Speaking of insulin syringes, does the length of an insulin syringe needle really matter? Although longer needles are often prescribed for patients with increased body fat, this practice actually has no clinical basis. Because skin thickness doesn't increase significantly in overweight and obese patients, a 4-millimeter needle is sufficient to deliver insulin to patients of all sizes. Pharmacists can play a substantial role in helping patients overcome their fear of insulin injection. For example, providing demonstrations and patient counseling about insulin can go a long way in promoting insulin acceptance and adherence. Pharmacists may receive more questions about treatments for inflammatory bowel disease now that Takeda has launched a comic campaign to promote IBD awareness. Takeda worked with the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America and Marvel Custom Solutions to create its first ever pharma-sponsored superhero to shine light on the many patients with IBD who hide their disease. The disease awareness campaign includes a graphic illustration series with an IBD-suffering superhero, as well as digital paid ads and social media posts. The American Heart Association recently released a scientific statement cautioning against the use of some common drugs and supplements in patients with heart failure. The statement published this month says certain medications can cause heart-related problems such as toxicity and drug interaction. For example, ibuprofen can trigger or worsen heart failure by causing sodium and fluid retention and rendering diuretics less effective. Meanwhile, OTC heartburn medications and cold treatments may contain significant amounts of sodium, which is normally restricted in patients with heart failure. For more great coverage and practical information for today's pharmacist, visit our website and sign up for our daily e-news. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching our Pharmacy Week in Review. I'm Kate Douglas at the Pharmacy Times News Network.